I'm a party girl in a party world. Life is plastic. It's fantastic. Oh, got a task. Create a short story as any of the following genres: horror, rom-com, or drama, which revolves around your favorite biscuit. Okay. Storytime. In the early 1960s, in a quiet rural town nestled deep within the woods, there stood an old abandoned bakery. Myths and rumours from locals spoke of the tragic tale of Mrs. Clara Potts. She was renowned around the town for her exceptional cookies, and people came from far and wide to see if these rumours were true, that these were the best cookies around. But one fateful night, the sweet aroma of freshly baked cookies vanished, and the bakery's doors were forever sealed shut. You see, legend had it that Mrs. Potts had gone mad after a series of unfortunate bakes. One day, as she was preparing a special batch of cookies for the town's annual festival, a stranger arrived, cloaked in the shadows. He demanded the secret recipe, threatening to destroy everything if she refused. Fearing for her life and the future of her beloved bakery, Mrs. Potts reluctantly gave him the recipe. As she watched the stranger vanish into the night, she knew she regretted her decisions. After all, her cookies were not just a sum of ingredients, but they were her life's work, filled with love and magic. There and then, she conjured on a dark ritual to reclaim the stolen recipe. However, something went terribly wrong during the ritual. As Mrs. Potts mixed the ingredients, a sinister presence filled the bakery. The shadows seemed to take a life of their own, whispering words of horror into her ears. She tried to control the dark forces she had summoned, but they overwhelmed her. The walls of the bakery turned black and the ground shook with anger. In a last-ditch effort to save herself, Mrs. Potts threw the bubbling cauldron into the oven. A blinding flash of light filled the room, and everything went silent. The bakery was forever changed, cursed by the forces that Mrs. Potts had accidentally unleashed. Years, decades passed, and the bakery became a place of isolation and dread. Children dared each other to approach the dilapidated building, but none had the courage to venture inside. That was until one night a group of brazen teenagers decided to explore the remains of the bakery for a ghost video. Led by curiosity, bravado, and YouTube views, they pushed open the creaky door and entered its dark interior. Armed with flashlights and nervous laughter, they creeped through the many cobwebs and broken shelves, searching for anything that remained of Mrs. Potts' legacy. As they tiptoed through the desolate bakery, the air grew colder, their breaths were shallower, and it was not long before a chilling presence was felt. Unbeknownst to them, they had stumbled upon the secret that bound the cursed bakery. In the heart of the kitchen, they found an old recipe book filled with faded ink and cryptic symbols. Amongst the pages was the infamous cookie recipe. Ignoring the ominous warning signs, curiously and recklessly, they decided to bake the cookies themselves. They gathered the ingredients and followed the aged instructions. When the cookies emerged from the oven, they looked and smelled perfect. But something was terribly wrong. As they took their first bite, their faces contorted in horror, their limbs started twitching uncontrollably. Bones began to crack and split from different extremities, and their skin began to bubble and burst. In the end, what was once a bunch of teenagers became a nightmarish amalgamation of flesh and despair. An ominous whisper filled the air, and that's how the cookie crumbles, before silence and dread filled the room. The cursed bakery claimed its new victims that night, and the town never heard from the teenagers again. From then on, people knew better than to seek the forbidden recipe. Mrs. Potts' legacy of delicious cookies had become a curse that haunted the town, a reminder that some secrets are best left undisturbed. And so the bakery remained abandoned, its walls forever tainted by darkness, waiting for another unsuspecting soul to meet its chilling fate. There you go. I hope that was fun. Bye.